everybody, it's Lynnea for LDRS Creative, and today I am using the latest craft kit from LDRS Creative. This is the Dream Big kit. I have done a previous video on the LDRS Creative YouTube channel detailing all the contents of the kit and creating 5 cards with the kit. I will link to that in the video description below. Today I just wanted to kind of expand on those cards. So I'm starting with the Magical Skies stencil. This is a 2-piece layering stencil. You saw me there with that kind of half stencil piece that fits right across the center portion of this stencil. So you can mask off the Aurora Borealis portion and ink up just the bottom part, and then, kind of like mask back and forth so you don't have to use all types of masking techniques. Makes it really, really easy. Today, though, I'm just going to be using the background without any masking. I like to spray the back of my stencil with a temporary adhesive. There's little portions to the stencil, like the shooting stars, that tend to kind of peel up a little bit. And so I didn't want that to happen, so I used a spray. But you don't have to if you prefer not to. My idea for this card is to use the Mountains stamp set in the foreground and have this Aurora Borealis effect in the background. So I'm not even taking any care to mask off the bottom portion of this stencil. It's not going to be seen. I'm going to cover it up with that Mountains stamp set. So I'm not masking. I'm just going to go right in with my LDRS Creative Hybrid inks. I'm starting here with Dandelion. I'd like to start with my lightest color, so in this case my yellow. That way, the yellow doesn't have to fight to try to be seen. If I start with the yellow and then kind of work my way around it, I know that my lightest color will be present. From there, I'm going to move on to Bali Blue, and I noticed that my blue is kind of turning out kind of green, and I realized that was because I was using my green blender brush. But that's okay because that just brings an extra color into my scene, and it's going to kind of make some green anyway when the blue mixes with the yellow. My last color is Tickled Pink, and I'm just kind of going in to all the empty areas where there's no ink yet, being sure to blend over top of the colors that I already have there. So using just 3 colors of hybrid ink, I'm going to get a whole rainbow effect here. The pink and the blue will make the purple, the pink and the yellow will make the orange and the blue, and the yellow will make the green. So just using 3 primary colors will get me a whole rainbow of color when they overlap. Okay, let's reveal this stencil and check that out. It took no effort at all. I wasn't even really blending my colors together well, and it just looks absolutely magical. So now I'm going to move on to the foreground piece. I'm using that Mountains stamp set. I'm going to heat emboss that on black cardstock. This black cardstock is from the kit, so it's nice and heavy, but you can use whatever black cardstock that you have in your stash. I'm just going to line this up at the top of my panel. That way it keeps the bottom as long as I need it to be. I can trim it off later. I'm just going to line that up using my stamping platform, making sure it's flat across the top. And then I will ink this up with some LDRS Creative Watermark Emboss ink. And I'm also going to be heat embossing this with LDRS Creative White Embossing Powder. And then once I'm done, I'm going to have this fun little white heat embossed mountain range on this dark black cardstock. Now I did this twice, once at the top and once at the bottom of this cardstock piece. I ended up only using one mountain scene. I wasn't sure if I was going to go for an A2 sized card or a slimline pocket sized card. I ended up going with a slimline pocket, so I will just keep this extra mountain range in the back of my stamp pocket, so I'll have this ready to go when I want to use this again. I'm going to use the Coordinating Mountains die set and just die cut out this mountain range. Now I'm going to start kind of playing around positioning my images. I have some images that I've colored from the Dream Big stamp set that's included in the Dream Big craft kit. I colored those off screen before filming my last video, and I had a whole bunch left over, so I'm going to use them on my card today. I wanted to do a slimline pocket size card, so I am using the slimline droplet pocket die set, but only using the outer frame. I'm going to temporarily adhere the Mountains heat embossed image onto my stenciled scene here, and then I'm going to tape that die in place over top of the 2 pieces of cardstock together. This is going to give me that stitched slimline pocket-sized detail around the whole card, mountains included. I'm going to remove that mountain scene. Remember, I only temporarily adhered that onto my cardstock, and this way I can add some foam tape behind and pop up this mountain range for some extra dimension. It takes just a little bit of time to add that foam tape onto the mountain scene, but I think it really gives the card a nice little kick of dimension, and it makes it really look finished. I'm going to add this mountain scene right onto that slimline pocket-sized background. And there you go. Look at that. You can see that stitched detail going around the whole card, including the mountain scene at the bottom. From there, I'm going to take my pieces from the Dream Big stamp set that's included in the Dream Big craft kit, and I'm going to position them at the bottom and just kind of play around seeing how I want this scene to look. Now, I wasn't really loving the way that the scene was looking, and so I decided to change it up just a little bit. I wanted a sentiment, but I didn't really want to stamp it right onto the card. It looked like just something was missing. You ever have those times when you look at a card and you're like, something's missing, it needs something? I grabbed the folded ribbon banner die set. This has 2 dies in it. I grabbed the smaller one and I die cut that from some white cardstock. I'm going to add the Dream Big sentiment as well as some stars, and I will add that to the top of the card. I think that just makes it look better. I think that the thing that was missing was having these 2 people like huddled under the blanket and they were looking up into the sky, but they weren't really looking at anything. So now they're looking up towards that Dream Big sentiment, and it kind of makes the card look complete. They're looking up at that sentiment instead of just looking up into nothing. So I'm just going to fold those score lines, fold it back and fold it forwards, and I will add some adhesive onto that folded ribbon banner die. I'm going to hang that off the top, just lining that up with some liquid adhesive, and I'll hold that in place for a second or two, and this is going to complete my cute little card. I hope you enjoyed this little scene. I will leave links to the LDRS Creative products that I used in the description below. Remember that the Dream Big Craft Kit is exclusive to the LDRS Creative store, and it is limited edition. So once it's gone, it's gone. So head over to the shop and grab yours now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.